never thought I'd say this a few years ago, but now I know that we're immortal, and that you don't have to hope for a near death experience in order to learn that this dense clay that we're sort of occupying right now is the end of the story. This is just the vessel that we're in right now, and um, the very fact that we can share thoughts, not with Zoom, but without technology, with someone at the other side of the world, or see the contents of a book in Lithuania, when I'm sitting in Vermont. That very fact shows that consciousness cannot be contained. It refuses to be contained in this little shell of our skull, or in this like 3-pound ball of jello, um, uh, that is our brain. So we don't have to worry about that. We're on a fascinating adventure, and I in a way I can't wait to find out the next step, and in a way I'm terrified of being wrong. But if you're wrong, you'll never know it. So it's not like you're going to suddenly die and find out, oh, there was no afterlife. So it's pure positive. Everything is great.
I think we're at a point in history. I hope we're at a point in history where love can take on many forms. That yes, Joy and I are celebrating a romantic divine union together. And there are many who are watching this because they're being prepared for a divine union. Maybe they think they've already had and lost. They don't know they're prepared for. But I think the important thing is that whether we're talking about romantic partnership, we're talking about connection with our family, with friends, or with animals, or with the universe directly, is that love is the governing force of the universe. And while there's a purpose to why we all desire our relationships to look and be a certain way, none of us are ever void of love, even if it shows up in our life currently differently than the way we want it. So I think it's really important to focus on divine partnership as an opportunity to remember that you are always one with love, whether it looks the way you want it to look, or it's life preparing you for something you'd have never expected.
Yeah. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait to feel the love of this divine world, this divine universe.
I say this a lot, but I think it's very profound, and I think it's very reassuring. People need to know everything's going to be okay. And it sounds almost like a simplified thing to say, but I think that's what we need to hear. And that's what the inner child that all of us has needs to hear, that somehow, some way, everything is going to be fine. Everything is working out exactly as it should. And you are loved. You are deeply loved. You're deeply cared for. You are seen. You're valued. And life is a blip on the radar. We've got a whole eternity to experience that direct access to the light. And when it's our time, that's what we have to look forward to.
Live this life with everything you've got, because there's more. And we're here for this, as much as we want to sometimes not be here. Even the bad experiences are part of everything. And then when it's done, it's beautiful. Dying is not a hard thing to do. Dying is not a hard thing it's not harsh. It's not cruel. It's a door open to something beautiful. So don't look for that. Live this, because that will come, and it is there. And whoever you've lost is close to you. I see it every day with Kate. Every day.
I think we exist because God loves us. And if you'll Focus on what may seem like a tiny little coincidence in your life, a dime on the sidewalk, some birds flying overhead or something. I think very often the universe speaks to us in such simple little ways because it wants us to lean closer to it. And if someone shouts at you, you tend to back up. If someone whispers, you tend to lean forward. And I think the universe wants us to lean forward closer and closer to us. And I believe it gives us experiences, small little experiences, sometimes some big experiences, just to get us to pay attention more and more to it. And the more you focus on that divine source, the more you're going to get from it.
There is life after death. There is a creator, and you will not feel alone. You will feel peace, and you will be in God's love as well. God is love, and you will be looked after. And you don't need to know what your next move is. It's taken care of. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know what to expect, but I felt taken care of the whole way. And I didn't even know how to move. I didn't know how to look around. And I was like a child. I was like a baby again. You know, I was very limited, but I was taken care of and put through a beautiful process. And ultimately, it was about relationships and family and responsibility, and I was returned.
There is always more light than darkness. There is always more love than hatred. It is just that the hatred is loud, the darkness is frightening. But the more we lift and choose to focus on the light, to focus on the love, we realign with our higher selves and we lift out of our own pain, our own fear. And now we've become a healer and a helper, helping others. And so it is.
We are all brothers and sisters, that we are all one part of a large body. I like to say, when you look at your body, and we all know that we're made up of billions of cells, billions and billions of cells. If God was a body like this, all of us human beings would literally be a cell, which means that without the cell in the finger, the hand doesn't work right. So we all are brothers and sisters. We are all from the same love space, and that we need each other all together in order to change the world that we see right now into something that we can use our God-given powers in and do well.
Get in touch with your dreams. Get in touch with what makes you come alive and believe in yourself. There's a lot, you can have a lot of voices in your head, and one of them's going to be like, can't do it, can't bend the spoon, can't do this. Fake it until you make it. Like, give yourself that benefit of the doubt to try and see what happens, and then just take one step forward. Because I believe in you. I believe in all of you. I know that that this world is bloomable, and it's bloomable when you strike that light and that passion inside of you.
Just say the word love often. You may say it one time, say it 6 times every hour, and see how it changes you. But have hope. Just be free to realize that something is changing and that it's glorious.
We're not alone. And this isn't the typical, we're not alone in the universe, but we're not alone. We have each other. We have each other. So no matter what happens, just remember, no matter how dark it seems, you're not alone. You have other people who've had these experiences too, and we can lean on each other, and we can be here for each other, and just love each other and be good to one another. No judgment, just love.
You know, the main thing I would really like to share is that it's all love. This side, when we can develop the love, and then the other side, it's always that love that brings us across, and it's that love that never ends. It's a energy that has no beginning and no end. So we don't need to worry so much. We're going to be taken care of as we cross over. We're going to be pulled in the exact perfect way for us, the unique way that we need to pull us into peace as we cross over.
I think what I've realized now is that if you have made lots of mistakes in this life and sometimes taken the wrong path. You don't need to berate yourself too much, because I think this life is just a small part of our continuing existence. So, you can mess up this life, but you're not messing up your whole existence. And I think that's very consoling as well, actually.
There is definitely something after death, so nobody has to fear or worry.
Know that you are unconditional love in a skin suit. And if there's anything that's going to transform anything, it's giving it to yourself first. Look in the mirror, right? And share that with yourself, that you love you. There's a million things I could say to leave inspiration, but it's the one thing that I know changes everything. And you might not believe it at first. And it's not a fake it till you make it kind of thing. It's a true deep connection with knowing that you are an aspect of source in this beautiful skin suit you have, and all things can change.
Just find love. Recognize yourself as love. You don't find it. I shouldn't have said it that way. Go inside your heart and recognize that you are love. It's something you are, not something you do. Peace, gratitude, all of those things are part of what you are. They're part of what makes you up. That internal being, that spirit side of you. And if you can just recognize that and live by that, you will get all kinds of information and messages. You don't have to go look it up. You don't have to do anything with it necessarily, but you'll know that you know, because that's what it is. You are love, you are peace, you are joy.
We are all connected, and that the miracles you seek may be closer than you think. And I wish all of you the utmost love, peace, and harmony. And I hope that you experience unconditional love as often as possible.
You have nothing to fear in death. Absolutely nothing to fear in death. It is a beautiful transition. And I think in knowing that and try to remind yourself of that, it allows you to live life more freely and openly and honestly, and live this life. You don't have to worry about death all the time. Live this life and be good to the people in your family. You're here to live life. You're here to do things in this world. And I think a lot of us are consumed with, other worlds, and it's fun and it's interesting and it's entertaining, but also don't forget to live this life as well.
I think that the overarching message, which you probably hear time and time again, is be kind. Be kind to each other. We're all in it together. We're all connected. And, we're all going to return to that source. Love yourself, love others, and extend kindness anytime you can. It makes a difference.
Don't worry about the negative stuff. From my studies, the majority of what I've come across is positive information, and that we are living in a very loving universe full of beings just waiting for us to become a part of them.
If you're feeling lost right now, like if you're lost in a storm and you feel like you don't know where to turn, the storm will pass. And on the other side of the storm is a beautiful sunny meadow. It's even if you feel like you'll never get out of something, you will.
You are love. It is within you. Like we said, if I want to come back to, you are the love that you are looking for. It is within you, and that you have access to the infinite love that, we may call God, source, the universe, whatever you may call it, or whatever you may not call it. Know that there is a greater something of infinite love that loves you completely and is completely accepting of you just as you are. And that there is nothing, I had an experience once where I just knew that there's nothing so bad that any of us as humans could do that means that we are not loved. We are always loved. And that, yeah, we are that love. You are that love.
People go through a lot of turmoil in their lives. Sometimes suffering's involved and roadblocks and hurdles. I just want to share that you have a purpose for being here, and your life has a path and a purpose, and to hang in there and go through it, because you'll come out better on the other end. I see life as a process of soul development, soul refinement, and that's why we're challenged with some of these things. So don't give up, hang in there. You'll get through it, and you'll be happier on the back end that you did.
Sure. I would just, reiterate to everyone that we're all conscious beings and that we're connected through this consciousness. We're more than just these flesh and blood bodies. We are connected at a higher level through an ultimate creator. There's someone or something or some energy that is responsible for everything in the universe, and it's all tied to this consciousness. And it really is all about love and loving each other. I know that sounds so cliche. It's very easy for people to say, it's just all about love when we live in such a troubled world, but it really is. And there's no such thing as death. We may lose this physical body that we have at this moment, but our consciousness does survive the physical death. And we have that opportunity to grow in each lifetime and become a more conscious, aware being, and connect with our loved ones after this physical life.
Live your life fully now. I know there's a lot happening in the world, and it can be overwhelming. It can be kind of scary, like what's happening. And ultimately, when we remember that inevitably all of us will eventually die, and that's very natural. How do we want to live? What do you want to do with your life today? Like, take the chance. Go on that vacation, let yourself buy those flowers for yourself or whatever it is. Like, live your life fully now, just knowing that all of this is perfect and ultimately, and it's just a moment in time. Yeah, live your life fully now.
I would like to say this to everyone that can hear me. Death is not the end. Death is not final. We all have a destiny to come into the earth, to learn what we can learn. And then we exit the earth because this earth is not everlasting here. And we transition to continue moving on and evolving into whatever it is God has for us planned. Because we are eternal beings, and eternal is eternity. When we leave here, there's more work to do for us. So when our loved ones leave before us, they're doing the work that they're meant to do. The memories that they leave with us is in our heart. For memories, we're not supposed to grieve when they leave, but to rejoice and be happy that they're elevating into spiritual enlightenment. So don't grieve and sadness. I know it hurts because I lost my sister. I lost my dad, my favorite, my aunt, friends. But life still elevates, and it's not the end. And if you think about them in deep thought, they're with you now. And 99% of the time they're hugging you, but you just can't feel it because you're so distraught. But they're hugging you, letting you know it's okay. I'm with you. And sometimes you may see something, you look and say, did I see something? What? That's them. They're around you. They're with you. They're holding your hand. but you just can't feel it. Just remember, death is not the end. They are eternal. And they're evolving. And they're with you. And I hope that helps somebody.
Thanks for watching the JeffMara podcast. I really appreciate you. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. And if you do, there are loyalty badges and other perks depending on your level of membership. All you need to do is click the join button underneath the video to find out more. Thank you for your support.